Hello students, today we are going to do the second part of Mrs. Donovan's dog. In the last video we had done where Inspector Halliday tells Mr. Harriet, I would like you to come and see an animal with me, a cruelty case. And he says, right, what is it? A dog and its pretty grin, a dreadful case of neglect. He gave me the name of a row of old brick cottages down by the river and said he would meet me there. Halliday was waiting for me as I pulled up in the back lane behind the houses. His in ear and led the way towards one of the doors in the long crumbling wall. A few curious people were hanging around, and with a feeling of inevitability, I recognized a gnome-like brown face. Trust Mrs. Donovan, I thought, to be among those present at a time like this. Now here, when the doctor reaches the place where the inspector had called him, he saw that there were some people over there, and the place was in a lane where there was a crumbling wall. And he suddenly happened to see someone gnome-like brown face. Gnome-like over here means a creature with a pointed hat, and it was none other than Mrs. Donovan. Halliday went over to a ramshackle wooden shed right at the back. A dog was sitting quietly. Now, when he reached there, he went into a broken down wooden shed, and at the back in that shed there was a dog who was sitting very quietly. I didn't notice him immediately because of the gloom and because the smell in the shed started me coughing. So the doctor says that first of all he did not notice the dog sitting over there because when the door was opened of the shed, he got some dirty smell, and that smell made him start coughing. But as I drew closer, I saw that he was a big animal. So when he went a little bit closer, he saw that the dog was not small but a big animal. His collar secured by a chain to a ring in the wall. I had seen some thin dogs, but this advanced emaciation reminded me of my textbooks on anatomy. Now over here, emaciation means abnormally weak. So when he saw this dog, which was chained at the collar to the ring in a wall, it reminded him about his time when he was learning on anatomy. Now, nowhere else did the bones of the pelvis, face and rib cage stand out with such horrifying clarity. A deep, smooth-out hollow in the earth floor showed where he had lain, moved about, in fact, lived for a very long time. Now, according to the doctor, the rib cage and the pelvis and face bones were all visible and it could be counted. So it was the dog had been so cruelly kept that it had become very weak, and where the dog had sat for so long, there had become a hollow in the earth. Earth flow meaning the mud flow which was there had formed into a crater, and that showed that the dog had been kept over there for a very long time. The sight of the animal had a stupefying effect on me. I only half took in the rest of the scene. Now the doctor says that when he saw the animal in such a condition, he was very shocked, and that is why he says that that effect which had on him of shock made him just stand there and not take in the rest of the scene. Look at his back end, Halliday muttered. So the inspector tells the doctor to check the dog at the back end. I carefully raised the dog from the sitting position. The hind quarters were a welter of precious sores. There were similar sores along the sternum and the ribs. Now over here, welter means a large amount of precious sores. So when he checked him on the hind quarters over here means the back legs, and there were a large amount of precious sores, meaning there were wounds formed over there because of sitting in the same place and in the dirt. There were similar sores along the sternum meaning the breastbone, and ribs. The coat, which seemed to be a dull yellow, was matted and caked with dirt. So, since he had been sitting there and had been doing everything in that place only, the all the dirt had got mixed in with the soil and was stuck on his coat. The inspector spoke again. I don't think he's ever been out of here. He's only a young dog, about a year old. But I understand he's been in this shed since he was an 8-week-old pup. So now the doctor says that it's not just for some time, but this dog had been kept there for since he had been a 8-week-old puppy. Somebody out in the lane heard a whimper of, or he would never have been found. Now it says that the dog is about 1 year old, and since it was an 8-week-old puppy, it had been brought and kept there. So it was nearly about a year now that the dog had been tied and kept in that place. And someone who had been passing there had heard that weak cry of the dog and had complained. I felt a tightening of the throat and a sudden nausea, which wasn't due to the smell. It was the thought of this patient animal sitting starved and forgotten in the darkness and filth for a year. Now the doctor was so shocked that he started feeling nauseous. It was not because of the smell that was coming there, but it made him feel nauseous because this animal had been very patiently waiting for someone to rescue him. And it was for a year that it had been sitting there quietly and calmly in all that dirt. I looked again at the dog and saw in his eyes only a calm trust. So he says that when he looked in the dog's eyes, he could only see trust in it. Well, Inspector, I hope you are going to throw the book at whoever is responsible. So now the doctor tells the inspector that he is expecting him to punish the person who has done this cruelty to the animal. Halliday grunted. Oh, there won't be much done. The owner's definitely simple. Lives with his mother, who hardly knows what's going on either. I have seen the fellow, and it seems he threw in a bit of food when he felt like, and that's about all he did. They'll find him and stop him from keeping an animal in the future, but nothing more than that. But the inspector informs the doctor that nothing much will be done because the person who has kept his dog is very poor and he lives with his mother, and whenever he could afford, he had thrown in some food for the dog, and that was all he could do. But he says that he is going to be fined and also warned not to keep any such animal in the future. I see. I reached out and stroked the dog's head, and he immediately responded by resting a paw on my wrist. There was a pathetic dignity about the way he held himself erect, the calm eyes regarding me, friendly and unafraid. Well, you let me know if you want me to go. Now the doctor realized that nothing much could be done, and he said that if he requires his help in the court, then he can contact him. Of course, and thank you for coming along. Halliday hesitated for a moment, and now I expect you'll want to put this poor thing out of his misery right away. Now, the inspector was expecting that the doctor would give him some medicines or maybe an injection and just kill him and put him to rest. That is, he would end his suffering in a quick moment. I continued to run my hand over the head and ears while I thought for a moment. Yes, I suppose so. We would never find a home for him in this state. It's the kindest thing to do. Anyway, push the door wide open so that I can get a proper look at him. Now the doctor says that it's still dark and he hadn't examined him properly. So he says to open the door of the shed properly so that the light could come in and he could get a good look at the dog. In the improved light, I examined him more thoroughly. Perfect teeth, well-proportioned limbs, with a fringe of yellow hair. I put my stethoscope on his chest, and as I listened to the slow, strong thudding of the heart, the dog again put his paw on my hand. Now, while the doctor was giving him a good checkup, the dog showed his trust by keeping his paw on the doctor's wrist. I turned to Halliday. You know, Inspector, Inside this bag of bones, there's a lovely golden retriever. I wish there was some way of letting him out. Now the doctor informs the inspector that this dog was a golden retriever. And then as he was speaking, he suddenly noticed that somebody was peering from behind the inspector's back. And it was none other than Mrs. Donovan. And that is why he says, as I spoke, I noticed there was more than one figure in the door opening. A pair of black pebble eyes were peering intently at the dog from behind the inspector's back. The other spectators had remained in the lane, but Mrs. Donovan's curiosity had been too much for him. I continued conversationally, as though I hadn't seen her. And now over here, he says he continues to keep talking even after seeing Mrs. Donovan, just pretending that he hadn't noticed her. He says all these things because he wanted that Mrs. Donovan should take responsibility of the dog. You know what this dog needs first of all is a good shampoo to clean up his matted coat. Said Halliday. Now Halliday was quite confused when here he was talking about putting the animal out of its misery, and the doctor was telling him about shampoo and condition powders. Yes, and then he wants a long course of some really strong condition powders. What's that? The inspector looked startled. So he was quite confused and also surprised that this doctor was talking some nonsense. There's no doubt about it, I said. It's the only hope for him. But where are you going to find such things? Really powerful enough, I mean. I sighed and straightened up. Ah, well, I suppose there's nothing else for it. I would better put him to sleep right away. I'll get the things from my car. So now he continued to speak as if Mrs. Donovan was not there, and he said that yes, there is nothing more he could do, and he was going to get the medicines required to put the dog to sleep, to put him out of his misery. And so the doctor goes out from the shed towards his car. But when he took his things and came back inside the shed, Mrs. Donovan was already very close to the dog and she was examining him. And she told the doctor, see, look, there is a name written on the collar, and that name is something like Rex. The name of the dog was Roy. You know, Mrs. Donovan, now you mention it. So now the doctor says that yes, now since you have mentioned it, it seems that yes, the names are somewhat similar. And then she tells him that she wanted to take care of the dog and take him home along with her. And she begs him to let her have the dog. But the doctor tells her that he could not do anything as she had to take permission from the inspector. Now I'll stop till here. We'll do the rest in the next video. I hope you have understood. Read the lesson well.